on. The ground rushed up, and she flailed wildly. I'm going to die. Then the floor split open. From the deep, jagged fissure, flames shot up, straight at her. The heat slapped her face as she kept falling, straight into hell. Katie, oh my God, wake up! Her mother shouted into her ear. Katelyn's eyes flew open and just as quickly squeezed shut. Coughing, she opened them again. Half smothered in smoke, she was lying on the sofa in the TV room, and her right arm was slung over her mom's wiry shoulder. The Art Deco floor lamp behind the sofa tumbled light over the rolling layers of smoke. The feet of the sofa rattled like a machine gun against the hardwood floor. The plaster ceiling was breaking off in chunks. Her mom was wearing her old Japanese bathrobe. Nothing else. Earthquake, Katelyn slurred. Her gymnastics coach had given her something to take for the swelling and pain after she had twisted her ankle in practice, and it had knocked her out. Alors, vita! Her mom was losing it, screaming at her in French to hurry. She yanked on Katelyn's arm, then draped her across her back like a firefighter and began to straighten her legs. Katelyn slid off, grabbing her mother's wrist, trying to fan the smoke away as she doubled over, coughing. Clinging to each other, the two staggered through the acrid haze. Katelyn knew she was holding her mother back. She was slow, still not entirely awake because of the painkiller, and incredibly dizzy. She stepped on something hot, searing her instep, one of the few places on her feet not protected by calluses. The room shook and swayed. The lamp fell over, throwing light against the portraits of her mother, the famed ballerina, Giselle Chevalier, as they jittered against the cracking walls and crashed to the floor. Get under the door jamb, her mom yelled. Katelyn was so disoriented that she couldn't remember the layout of the living room. For a moment, she froze, foggy and confused. Her knees buckled, and her mother clung to her, keeping her from collapsing completely. The room was exploding around them. Katelyn fought hard to make herself move, to wake up. Her lungs were burning. The lights went out. Then her mother moaned and let go of Katelyn's hand. Mom? Katelyn swayed, reaching out into the darkness for her mother and stumbling forward. Her toes collided with something soft, her mother's face. Then something hard, a huge chunk of plaster, on top of her mother's head. Katelyn dropped to the floor and threw herself over her mother's still form. Mom! Her mother groaned. My darling, run, she managed to say. Then the floor opened up, and Giselle Chevalier was gone. 2 weeks later, Katelyn was on a very small jet and swathed in black. Black leotard top, black wrap sweater, jeans, and riding boots that were a little too snug around the calves. She wasn't wearing makeup, and the black washed her out. She looked how she felt, drained and half dead. It was better than shrieking with grief or having another nightmare. She counted off the last 3, a repeat of falling to her death in the Cirque du Soleil, dancing the Black Swan in Swan Lake as the roof of the theater crashed down on top of her, and bursting into flames as she carried the Olympic torch for the USA gymnastics team. Her best friend, Kimmy Brandow, told her it was survivor's guilt and to get over it. Giselle Chevalier would have been glad her daughter survived, even if she herself had not. Blinking back tears, Katelyn hunched her aching shoulders. She was trapped up against the window. Unfortunately, the purple overnight bag containing her iPhone, which Kimmy had helped her load with music for the journey, was stuffed into the overhead compartment 3 rows away. She had figured she